Hello, and welcome to the course NestJS Unleashed. My name is Daniel, and in this video, I will explain what this course is about. First of all, let's talk about the problem that this course aims to address. As you probably already know, but if not, Node.js is a JavaScript runtime environment. Basically, it allows you to develop the backend of a system using JavaScript. It gained high popularity in recent years due to many reasons, such as it allows for using the same programming language, JavaScript, for both front-end and back-end development. It also allows for high performance, extensibility, and many other advantages. However, if used alone, it can also be considered a quite crude or bare-bones environment, as you are responsible for libraries configuration, code architecture, routing, amongst other things. Well, this by itself is not necessarily a problem of Node.js, but if you intend to develop a more complex or robust system, it may be a nice idea to have a more directed way of organizing your code base. And so we come to the purpose of this course. As you also probably already know, but if not, NestJS is a powerful framework for Node.js, focusing on architecture, heavily inspired by Angular. In the same way, this course will also be centered on architecture and code design. As such, our focus will be to harness most of the potential of Nest by learning how to effectively use its tooling. All of this while focusing on elegant architectural solutions. To achieve this, we will use a completely practical approach. Theory will always be connected with practice. And to also achieve this, we will also use an incremental approach. A system will be created from scratch using Nest, and then developed and improved throughout the course. This backend system, which we will talk about shortly, will be the stage for us to effectively master Nest. Just as a side note, the architecture and code design used here are akin to a proposal, and therefore opinionated. With that said, feel free and even encouraged to make changes wherever you see fit. This may be a great opportunity for you, not just to develop a more critical sense about code quality in general, but also to take ownership of the project. Proceeding, we arrive at the structure of the project. Throughout our journey, we'll be developing the backend of an online shop. The class diagram of the system, which is in the next slide, is very similar with some minor changes to one found in the Java course by Professor Nelio Alves. Just for reference, a link to his course can be found below in the description. The reasons that I chose this specific diagram are: it represents a common scenario that is easy to understand, an online shop. I don't think this is too strange for anyone, I hope. A simple yet interesting business logic, and main kinds of relationships and cardinalities between the entities. Our main focus will be on the solutions we'll implement to make this system come to life. Finally, we reach the system diagram. As we can see on the right, we have a user entity which has a name, an email, a phone number, and a password. A user can have many orders which are related to products. A product can belong to many categories. A category can have many products, etc. But we don't need to focus too much on this right now. After all, we can do that during the course itself. Well, this course comprises many modules. The core module, which is free, covers these topics: project creation and configuration, resource generation and setup, validation, which will be completely DTO-based, database creation with Docker, TypeORM integration, configuration of environment variables, and more. All of this with a heavy focus on architecture and best practices. But the full course has many more modules. Apart from the core module, there will also be an improvements and tips module, a parallel module which will use Prisma instead of TypeORM, and extra modules that will cover these topics: authentication and authorization, exception filters, OpenAPI specification with Swagger, file management, advanced querying, and automated testing. The modules marked with coming soon have already been written and tested. I just need to make a final revision, adapt them to Gitbook, and record their lessons. So in theory, they should really become available very soon. The only exception is the last module, which I have not started yet, so it should take much more time. There is also a complementary material available, for which you can find a link below in the description. It is a document on Gitbook. Basically, it has the same content as the video lessons, but in written form. So if you prefer, you can also have this option. There you can also find the necessary tools to proceed with this course. And finally, the prerequisites. As this is an intermediary level course, some previous knowledge is required. First of all, you should have a decent and well-sedimented knowledge about programming fundamentals, until object-oriented programming. Without this knowledge, unfortunately, it will be impossible to proceed. After that, you should also have a decent knowledge about TypeScript, the language that will be used throughout the course. In case you don't know TypeScript, I highly recommend the course Understanding TypeScript, a top-notch quality course by Maximilian Schwarzmüller. It is a Udemy course and therefore not free, unfortunately. Even then, it's the best material about TypeScript that I know. If you do follow along with his course, I personally recommend that you watch until the chapter Generics. I don't find it really necessary to watch the chapters after this one, at least for the purpose of following along with this course. And lastly, NestJS Basics. Even though this course is about NestJS, in case you never had any contact with the framework, I will recommend a free video also from Maximilian. It is very basic and introductory, but it will help you have a better start at this course. It is not mandatory, but it would be interesting. And you can find links to these courses below in the description. And so, the course is finally presented. Hopefully, I made this somewhat clear to you. And I hope you have a great experience developing this project with me, and have fun in doing so. Don't forget to test, experiment, and fiddle with the code. This is a great way to really understand what is happening, and not just mimic what I am doing. So, thank you for taking this course, and best wishes.